Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yes, once again we have managed to avoid the drop, and accelerate lower to basically these recent lows, and then potentially break those and trade lower. And we are just about getting back towards the top area of our support zone. So yeah, we had another day. We've been given a respite of another day. So let's see where we can go from here. Obviously, if we get above, I mean, this is very tight price action. So it isn't much further. We need to go up to then potentially get a bit of a pop to the upside. Yeah, I mean, we could get the move up. In the context of the overall market, it's not really that relevant. However, it is just with this low volatility, it's obviously better that we are towards the top side of this, and then we got a chance of breaking up, because obviously the moves to the downside could be pretty aggressive. So we want to ideally try to avoid those, but hey, what will be what will be. We're in a bit of a rubbish market here at the moment. It's almost kind of good maybe that people are losing interest, that there is a less volatility. Maybe it is maybe this is how we are putting a bottom. We get nobody really that interested. Everybody that can't be bothered with it is out, and yeah, and the losses have already been taken. The money has already evaporated. So we shall see. There obviously are lots of people still eyeing up down here. We could get a move down to here, potentially get a front run or overshot. But I mean, the longer we stay above here, and the longer the bears don't take control and drag us down, and nothing else pops up to drag us down, then the path of least resistance will obviously be back towards the upside. Stock markets easing off into their support still, not really made a bounce off this yet. This trend line, if we extend it along, may actually end up meeting price action rather than price action meeting the trend line. We'll extend this along, and maybe that will be the catalyst to force stocks down, or well, either that or it'll be the catalyst for a pop to the upside, and what would probably look like the low in the stock market, a kind of a double bottom lower low here, slightly lower low, and then onwards and upwards. So we'll have to see what happens there. Oil having a bit of a bounce from getting towards our support zone, which is potentially good to see. So I know that oil obviously going up, energy prices going up, is not necessarily that great for inflation. However, if it is indicating a better economy, maybe a less severe recession, or maybe even that elusive soft landing, then that is not a bad thing. DXY bouncing off its support again, but obviously putting a bit of a lower low there, and the more lower, practically the same. But this is obviously looking potentially bearish if we can take this out. It just looks like it doesn't want to break down straight away. I guess they are waiting to hear what Jerome Powell says, and then potentially wait on the rate decision in December, and then also what the minutes of that meeting were, because that'll be pretty interesting to hear that. So yeah, it could hover around this area before picking a direction for its next major move. Ethereum Satoshi pairing did look like it forward checked, back checked, and it is going for the paycheck. Obviously got to make it above these highs here, and then yeah, we'll probably accelerate up into this resistance zone and then see what happens up there. So so far so good. This is what we want to see. Next step is take out these highs and then obviously accelerate to that. So I got a bit of a cold cough this morning, and then accelerate up towards this resistance. The USD pairing, again, pretty much still in no man's land like it has been. Obviously, could very easily take legs lower here until it gets back above this. What would be pretty. You'd expect this to be pretty staunch resistance. You would expect us to struggle to get back above here. But obviously, on the flip side, if we do, then and then yeah, I mean, we'll open up back up towards 14, 15, 1500, and then if we take out this level here, then well, opening up back towards 2000 and beyond. So obviously we're a long way away from that. We are still basically, like I said, there's no real support in this area until we get down to these lows. which obviously if we take them out, then yeah, we'd expect significant acceleration to the downside. Clearly in a particularly bearish looking downtrend here in the longer term. So could this be the bottom? Yes. Is it looking like it is yet? It definitely is yet at the moment. Definitely no, it's not. So we'll have to see what happens there. Let's look at stochastics. See how they are looking this morning. 4 hour turning back up. So yeah, maybe this can aid us getting above this level. Call it 16,700. Maybe they can get us above, and then we can get an acceleration. 12 hour well, was turning down, but now looking to try and turn back up, so that's not the worst thing that's not the worst read. Daily, which did look to turn down yesterday, is continuing up now, obviously not with the same amount of upwards aggression, but pointing up nonetheless in the bullish zone, so that could obviously help us out here. And then the buy daily looking to turn up from a low level, 3-day looking to turn up from a low level, 5-day is still pointing down, weekly is pointing down, and monthly bi-weekly just about down there, monthly just down there. So I mean, it is all signs are pointing towards I would say a low B between it already been put in or around this basically around 13 to 14,000 being the low. If we are to come lower, that's what a lot of this is pointing towards, in my opinion. We shall have to see. I think we've seen the peaks in inflation. I think we've seen the peak in the rate of change to the upside for interest rates. I think we've probably seen a peak in all the shenanigans that are unwinding in the crypto market. I think we've seen the peak of that. That's not to say more bodies won't come flowing to the surface, but they just won't be as bad as what we've experienced, and there will be not as bad and fewer and further in between. So yeah, we'll see what happens. A bit of a waffling on video this morning, but there's not a lot going on in the markets, is there really? So but what I will say is better than us taking another leg down like we did here. I'd rather us just trade sideways and then have a chance of trading back up, rather than just an expansion of volatility back to the downside once again. So that is it, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.